Welcome back to Comic-Con 2014. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. I've got a great guest now because without this company, it would be a lot harder to create comics, especially digitally. And a lot of creatives use these products all the time. Everybody kind of mispronounces the name. You hear Wacom, Wacom, it's Wacom, Wacom. It's Wacom, it's Wacom, I don't know. It's Wacom, and this is Doug Little. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. You're right, it is Wacom, and the reason it is Wacom is it comes from the Japanese word wa for harmony, and then com is the shortcut for computer. So harmony between humans and technology, that's our mantra. Wacom was founded in 1983 in Tokyo, and we've been zooming ever since.
1983.
Long time for a high-tech company.
So I think I got involved with you guys in the early 90s. Found out about you then. I didn't know it was since 1983. That's really impressive. And I mean, look, you guys everybody knows about you guys for a long time, making the pad you put down. Instead of using a mouse, you use a pen. You can use a mouse on top of that pad if you want sometimes. A lot of different ways to do it. Usually it's connected via USB, but nowadays you can also do Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connections you guys offer. And now you guys have come out with full tablets, but they're not tablets like an iPad or an Android device. These are like 27-inch screens that you can draw right on, and it's really revolutionized the comic book world and all sorts of illustration.
Oh, it sure has. You're talking about our Cintiq brand, which is our interactive pen display where you're using a pen directly on screen. Our pens are totally pressure sensitive. They offer 2,048 levels of pressure, so you're getting a real traditional media-like feel from our pens, and it's just an amazing device to use.
Now, John P. from GeekBeat, who's a good friend of mine, and we're streaming live to GeekBeat now, and hey guys, how you doing? We love GeekBeat. I do a lot of reviews for them. John loves your products. I do too, but I mean, he's like over the moon with them.
Oh yeah, I mean, lots of people are, and there's a good reason for it. You know, it's a very natural and intuitive way to work.
Are you ever surprised with what people can do with these tools? Like when you look at, oh, you did that on our thing, wow.
Yeah, we are always surprised, and that's the beauty of working for Wacom. We deal with some super creative and fun people, and it's just a great thing to do. I mean, we're dealing with animators, industrial designers, comic book illustrators like here at Comic-Con. It goes on and on. It's a huge list.
It's amazing. And then you guys have a lot of products also for like iOS devices as well, and with iOS 8, there's pressure sensitivity, the ability to have pressure sensitivity. How has that really changed the evolution of what you can do on these devices?
Well, you've probably seen a couple of our products that have come out recently. We've got the Intuos Creative Stylus 2, which is a Bluetooth pen that you can connect directly to an iPad. And it offers also 2,048 levels of pressure.
Really?
And it's just an amazing way to work with your iPad.
I got to get one of those.
Yes,
that's
you
amazing.
Should.
I didn't realize
we'll make sure we get one to you. How's
that would be awesome. Thank you. I didn't realize though that the Intuos 2 had that much, you know, it had, you know, that level of interaction with the iPad. I thought that was reserved for, you know, either the desktop devices or the screens. I think that's unbelievable.
Yeah, not at all. So Wacom is really geared toward making our pens available for everybody, whether it be a novice, a hobbyist, an enthusiast, or a high-end professional, and we want people to be able to use our gear with different types of devices. So the iPad, a lot of people are doing some initial concepting with an iPad, and that's where we come into play.
I love that. And so you can actually share, so you can start on an iPad, and you can bring that creative over to a PC or a Mac.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we want people to do. People that are doing some rough concepting on an iPad, on the train, on the way to work, they get into work, they dump that onto their computer, and then they can refine it on a Cintiq or an Intuos tablet, and it's just a beautiful way to work.
Are you ever surprised with like, somebody's using it and you go, wow, I can't believe those guys are using it, or I didn't know?
Tons of times. I don't know, I've got lots of personal stories. When I first started at Wacom, Scott Adams of Dilbert called us and,
really? Wow.
And asked us if he could try a Cintiq, and sure enough, he became a huge user. Same with Jim Davis of Garfield, same type of thing.
That's unbelievable.
So there's tons of stories like that.
How does telling the story digitally as opposed to actually having to draw it out by hand, how does that help? Not only, obviously it's more efficient, right? We know that, but how does it help the creatives be more creative?
There's lots of ways. First of all, working digital, you cannot make a mistake, right? All you have to do is erase your mistake and start over again. You're not using ink, you're not throwing away paper or anything like that. So there's that. The ability to work in a kind of a comfortable environment. Also the ability to collaborate with others. I mean, I can do a digital sketch, send it to you, you can refine it, send it back to me, give me comments. There's all sorts of things that come into play when you're working digital.
I love working digitally. People, I mean, they give me a hard time sometimes because I want everything to be digital, even like the audio here. I want to feed it in through USB and all this stuff because I think that there's nothing to lose. You don't have to worry about lostness and all this stuff, and I think it's better, it's truer. It knows what level it needs to be. It's telling it this is the level it was. So I like those concepts across the board, and I think it's really great. And I think it's at the point where you can't really even tell the difference between digital animation and illustrations and actual hand-drawn stuff, especially when it's printed. I think it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, absolutely, yep. I mean, the differences now between digital and traditional media, you really can't tell a difference unless you're, somebody that's really sophisticated and knows what's happening. But for the most part, most people now are working digital for many reasons. The reasons I just mentioned a few minutes ago.
What's the most fun you've had at Wacom?
Wow, my job is fun every day. So.
But I mean, I imagine you get to go visit a lot of people or do a lot of crazy stuff, or somebody says, hey, what's the deal with this? Come show us how to use it, and you're all of a sudden at Weta or Marvel or some company like that, or even at a movie set. Yeah,
we get to do a lot of fun things. We get to go to a lot of places, like some of the game development studios are fun to visit, like Naughty Dog. We visited there not too long ago. That was a blast. We have gone to a lot of industrial design places like Ford, GM, where people are designing. Wow, you don't even
think about that. You're designing a car.
Oh yeah, if you take the automotive industry as an example, pretty much I can actually say that every automotive manufacturer uses Wacom gear to design with.
That's terrific.
Yeah,
that's
it's
amazing.
Cool. It's cool stuff.
Very cool stuff. Doug Little, thank you so much for joining us here at Comic-Con 2014. We've got a lot more coverage for you on your continuing live Comic-Con coverage. We're on geekbeat.tv, BeTerrific.com. We're also on Planet 5D, and we're broadcasting with the Padcaster. I'm Michael Artsis. We'll be back with a whole lot more from Comic-Con here in New York City right after this.